What a group, man. What a freaking football team you guys are. What a football team, man. What a freaking Seahawks. Let's go. That's what we do, man. One play at a time. Look, every phase picks each other up, all the things, okay? Defensively, look, you guys did a hell of a job adjusting in the second half, and offense picking us up when we needed it, man. That's a freaking great job. Special teams with a freaking punt return touchdown. Let's go, Chiefs. We are in the playoffs. Okay? We are in the game. Proud of you guys. Let's go celebrate this thing. Leo, get us a break. Let's get out.
Hey, here we go, fellas. Love y'all boys. Hawks on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Fantasy Football Happy Hour with Matthew Berry.
Happy Friday. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Happy Hour. That was a fired up, for all the right reasons, Seahawks locker room. Don't worry, we're going to break all of that excellent, amazing Thursday night football game. Jay, maybe some people are saying best game of the year.
I think so.
I think
to be the game of the season.
Bills-Ravens to kick things off was still pretty close.
Yeah. It's week one, though.
Right, the stakes of the game.
I didn't know what those teams were, just, with the stakes being so clearly defined and just the absurdity of how it played out to go from 34. Game's done. Like, game's completely done at 30-14. And then the Rashee punt return touchdown. That's the thing, is like a lot of these games that turn out of nowhere, it is like something random, like special teams or some random bizarreness.
A quick score.
Yeah. So it was, but it was pretty special.
Yeah, it was. And despite all of that, who's won the show?
All right. Should I get on the air?
Yeah, let's do it.
Is this a good angle? This is my first time on TV. My first time on TV.
Yeah. Well, it was a late night for all of us watching.
Oh, East Coast Dad. Shout out to my friend JJ Zachariason. Yeah, it was beautiful. You know what? I'm going to teach Colby how to catch the ball. No, they wouldn't let me. It's a long story. They wouldn't let me get mic'd up on air. I wanted to give Kenny some screen time, but they wouldn't let me do it.
Kenny would be great on air. He's entertaining.
We love Kenny, one of our stage managers here, diehard Lions fan as well. What were you guys talking about?
Just the big game.
Oh,
yeah.
I saw that.
Blazers Kings. Blazers blew a 17-point lead with 3 minutes to go. Yeah, as I was saying on the pre-call for our show, really Rams Seahawks, just the matinee for Blazers Kings, which kicked on well into the night past 1 a.m. But yeah, ridiculous game. I mean, there's so much we can get into here, Connor, but I think the story of the game is the wide receiver superstar performances and Puka Nacua going absolutely berserk. JSN matching him in the second half. They trade game-winning touchdowns. Now, fantasy-wise, not much to take away from that, but I just think marveling at the level of play that those two got to is the story.
Congratulations to Puka Nacua for no racist touchdown celebrations either.
But America held its breath. Yeah, he got tackled inside the 5 twice. The crazy thing about Puka is that he scores 46.5 points. He got tackled inside the 5 twice, and Stafford missed him wide open for a 40-yard touchdown.
Could have somehow been so much bigger.
I feel like he underperformed. I wanted more from Puka.
It's unbelievable. I'm in a guillotine league where I have both Puka and JSN. We're down to final 2. I mean, everyone's got a super team, right? So I'm feeling pretty good in that league. And of course, in the other league, I'm playing against a guy that has both. So
that's how it goes.
Just how it goes. But I mean, it just goes to show. I mean, like we sort of talked about this yesterday on the show about these guys were probably the 2 fantasy MVPs this year. I argued for JSN over Puka based on third round ADP versus late first round for Puka, but still, when it mattered most. They absolutely crushed. It was looking dicey there for JSN for a little bit. Your best bet yesterday.
I was never in doubt.
Yeah, 6.5. Oh, JSN over 6.5, but absolutely
smooth
crushed.
0 at half, needed overtime to get there. It's pretty wild, though. The Jaxon Smith-Njigba goes, like 8 for 96 on the game-winning touchdown in the end, and was doubled in points by his rival, his contemporary, Puka Nacua. Those two going to vie off. That's basically a head-to-head now for Offensive Player of the Year. I think that'll come down to the wire with the Colts struggling. And
why? I mean, is McVay just that good of a coach where just like again, I think most people are suddenly like he's the only guy. Yeah. Why aren't you bracketing him, triple teaming him?
They did. That's crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Not all the time.
No,
and it felt like maybe they should have all the time.
Right.
McVay's a mastermind. I know it's weird to say that on a day we're breaking down a Seahawks have an amazing win. But, I mean, this is the second week in a row where they've had 3 tight ends on the field for over 61% of the time. Nobody in football does that. But what it does is it allows them to balance the run and the pass with an elite wide receiver in Puka. Obviously, no Davante Adams. And they use all these tight ends, much to our chagrin, because it's a little frustrating in fantasy. But the balance in their offense, and then to be able to feed their number 1 wide receiver, the Seahawks tried. They had a safety over they were playing different leverages. It just didn't matter. He's that good.
Yeah. Also, Kanata Mumfield, he's a real person. He is a real person. Don't get confused with that.
8 targets for Kanata Mumfield. Put some respect on his name.
Xavier
picked up in my Dynasty League last week.
Yeah, Xavier Smith. I thought tactically, Connor, it was fascinating because I really felt like the Rams were the better team last night. And I felt that the Seahawks were the better team in the first matchup where they lost.
I agree.
And they traded outcomes. But the beauty of the Seahawks defense, which was made to look not great last night, the beauty of that defense is that they can stay in lighter personnel and still destroy the run game. And so Sean McVay was just like, all right, well, you guys can stay in light personnel. You guys can stay in nickel.
Yeah.
We're just going to put our tight ends out there.
Right,
we're just going to maul you. And like until the end where Stafford started getting hit a bit, Rams O-line was magnificent, keeping Stafford upright. But ultimately, Nacua and his gravity was really what created everything.
I mean, the one first down he caught through the defender.
Yeah, it's insane.
Like, there's nothing you could do there.
Yeah, I think Jaxon Smith-Njigba ultimately will win Offensive Player of the Year because the stats are going to be similar. JSN has Sam Darnold as his quarterback. Puka Nacua has the MVP likely as his quarterback, and Davante Adams
That didn't move,
well.
right? I don't want to skip over that.
Yeah, so
Stafford, it's not like you look at that game and go, well, Stafford can't be the MVP anymore.
It's funny, his price is basically identical. I actually think he's more likely to win MVP now than he was before the game because, I mean, the guy just went 3 touchdowns, no picks, 457 yards against the Seahawks defense. But ultimately...
That's the thing that's most amazing. Like, I benched Stafford in a couple of leagues thinking, well, short week, no Davante Adams against Seattle. Like, his 3rd worst game of the season was against Seattle earlier in the year. And so it just sort of like, I mean, Stafford was brilliant.
He was. I think
brilliant last night. And so, yeah, go ahead.
I think it's going to, I thought Stafford was very good. He was 7 and 3 touchdowns against the Seahawks. They did go 5 straight drives in the second half without scoring any points. Like, it's been described as like Josh Allen against the Rams last year. I think it was quite that level. He was very good. He had an 80 PFF grade last night. That's what I thought it was. It was like an 80th percentile type of game. Puka did a lot of work after the catch. Now, Stafford was great in his ability to succeed in that way without Davante Adams.
But they weren't getting anything really going on the run game. Like,
They dropped some that they should have had, too.
Yeah. Stafford
Colby Parkinson, we saw drinks for free.
And so,
managers.
Exactly. I mean, in a game in which almost 80 points were scored, Colby Parkinson, who, listen, he was on my love list. I had him as top 10 play. A lot of people across the industry. I saw many angry Reddit threads about Colby Parkinson, and all of us drink for free. The play was right. 73% route participation for Colby Parkinson against a team that going into this game had given up the 2nd most receiving yards, 2nd most receptions to opposing tight ends. The problem is that tight ends did do well against them. It just wasn't Colby Parkinson.
They played 3 of them on the field at the time, all times.
That was it. And just it felt like they used Colby Parkinson more for blocking, which was weird. Like with Davante Adams out, they went with 3 tight ends quite a bit, and they used Parkinson more for blocking, which was surprising me. I didn't think he was that good a blocker. I didn't think it was that much of a threat.
On the line of scrimmage for them, while the other guys get to play big slot a
lot. And so he led the tight ends in route participation, but obviously he had 2 big drops, obviously, and they didn't, he wasn't the tight end that scored the touchdown, which is very upsetting. So incredibly annoying, Colby Parkinson, that in a game in which Matthew Stafford was brilliant, in a game in which Matthew Stafford threw 49 times, Colby Parkinson somehow, a week after he gets 75 yards, a week after his route participation is increased, again, 73% route participation, he was out there. Like they couldn't get him the ball. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. Do you think the Seahawks defense, statistically, really only the Texans have been better than them this year, but do you think they can be got a little bit where the Rams were relentlessly targeting Job at corner last night? Baker Mayfield put up 38 points against this team. Stafford just put up 37 admittedly in overtime with effectively a defensive score. They got down to the one off the Darnold pick. But do you think that next week, not so much against the Panthers, but I mean, week 18, the Niners, I'm not as scared of the Niners now?
It's not a perfect defense, right? It's definitely has a lot of young talent. Nick Emanwari got banged up last night. You could see the talent with him on the back end. Witherspoon's a great player. Witherspoon was step for step with Nacua on plays that Nacua would just make a miraculous catch. So, yeah, and then they come in waves with their pass rushers. I don't think you look at their defense and go, oh, they have a Micah Parsons or a Max Crosby or a TJ Watt. They just more come in waves. So,
and a lot of
I think that's really fair. And Mike McDonald's a mastermind, but who knows how to attack masterminds? Sean McVay.
Yep, absolutely. To tie off the previous thought as well, I think JSN likely wins Offensive Player of the Year because the stats will be close and he's got the weaker quarterback and no Devontae Adams taking pressure off. I think Puka Nacua is the best receiver in football. What he can do contested catch-wise, I think, kind of separates him from JSN as well.
Yeah, a monster.
He's unbelievable. Insane to think he was a 5th-round pick. Insane.
Right. Even they passed on him a couple times.
That's right. I mean, credit to Les Snead and Sean McVay. And you've seen the clip is, like about, hey, I think this guy could be something.
They really did like him.
But I don't think anyone thought that coming out of college he would be the best wide receiver in the NFL, let alone fantasy football. The last 2 things I'll say about this game here is that you need to take this game and that's a good question from Aloha Bricks. I think Puka's the #1 wide receiver. I think he's probably.
The only thing is the injury stuff.
He's
more of an injury risk than JSN.
That's right. He's a first-rounder. I think he's probably a top 5 guy overall.
He's definitely top.
I think he'll be the 2nd or 3rd player taken in most drafts.
That's probably right. You think about this year. You could make an argument again, assuming health. Like, could you take Jamar Chase over him? Sure. Could you take JSN over him? Sure. You're not taking CeeDee Lamb over him. You're not taking Jefferson over him.
No, I think it's JSN, Chase, and Puka.
Is there a running back you would take over him?
Bijan.
I think Bijan should be the #1 pick.
Probably
because of the workload, the receiving work, and the fact that he doesn't get hurt. Which I know everyone's injury prone until they are.
But that's, by the way, in some order. It's those 3 wide receivers. It's Bijan. I think it's probably Devon Achane and Gibbs. With maybe Jonathan Taylor, again, depending on what they all. But that's probably your top 8 next year, would be my assumption.
Right.
Yeah. Say who the Colts quarterback is.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's a lot of, what happens.
Kyler Murray. Yeah.
Joe Burrow's weird quotes in Cincinnati every week. I know it seems like a long shot, but I'm just saying a lot can change from now when we're sitting here in August to actually predict.
Joe Burrow's talking as though he just came out of a viewing of Waiting for Godot with me last Saturday.
I wonder
very
if
existential about
now we're getting into NFL talk, and we have a lot to get to. The only thing I would say about Joe Burrow is I wonder I suppose. I wonder if I have no inside knowledge. I have absolutely zero inside knowledge.
He's going to retire? Send him to retirement.
No. Just because I am in business with him. So I don't want to be very clear about. I have no inside knowledge at all. I don't talk to Joe.
We don't know if he knows he's an investor.
He does. He does. No, he does know he's an investor. He does know he's an investor. I have a picture I took with him where he was holding the Fantasy Life magazine. So I know
he knows.
He knows. He does know. But I deal with his business guy. You know what I mean? And I don't even deal with his business guy all that much. Yes, exactly right. It's Andre Yoshevich. But I wonder if he is trying to. I wonder if he is trying to, in a roundabout way, get out of Cincinnati, because he is the cheapest owner in the NFL. Will not invest in the defense. Whether Zach Taylor's the problem or not. I mean, we can debate that. That's an NFL discussion. But there's no chance Zach Taylor gets fired, because the owner is too cheap to buy out a contract. He just never has, right? He's let Marvin Lewis, all these. And so it's just this is why I always say Bengals fans, I always feel so brutal for Bengals fans. It's so tough. But he is the cheapest owner in the NFL. And so if Joe Burrow's sitting there going I've got my prime, and maybe he can force his way out, or make it to an extent he's thinking about retiring, and the only way he'll come back is if the owner does open up the purse strings and invest in defense. So anyway.
Ryan Oswald. Barry cuts off the NFL talk like it derails, but talks about Nemo scripts pitched for 5 minutes.
Yeah, because those are interesting. Yeah, 1,000%. Because, by the way, if you want NFL talk, pro football talk, Sims Unbuttoned, they do a great job of it. But, Nemo scripts, the only places you're getting it here.
That's
by the
fair.
way.
It is a unique market
it's very fair. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, corner of the market we have absolutely nailed.
We've run that lane. The last thing, the 2 things from the game, last 2 things from this game. Back to NFL talk. Ryan, back to fantasy football talk. Number 1 is that this is such a crazy game from Puka Nacua, even by his standards. The most fantasy points by a wide receiver in a game this season, 3rd most by any player. but at least it happened on a Thursday. So if you're facing Puka Nacua in a semifinal, right now at least you understand as you head in, and we'll talk more about this on Fantasy Football Pregame Sunday morning, but as you head into this weekend, you now need to aim for upside. It is no longer about floor play. Every line of decision that you have, now you're not going to do something stupid, but I'm just saying, like, if you're trying to decide between two players, it's always the guy that has the chance of going off versus the floor play. Right? It's you're trying to I'm trying to give a good example here, but you prefer in a flex spot. I'm trying to make it up, but you prefer Darius Slayton in a deep flex to then some possession receiver or a guy that
I've got a decision to make between looks like Marvin Harrison will play, so I got to choose between Michael Wilson and Khalil Shakir. And I think their median outcomes are pretty similar. But Michael Wilson has more chance to go for 120, right? Than Khalil Shakir, who it just doesn't really have that scope. So I went up against Puka in that league, and so now Michael Wilson, good luck.
Yeah, but that's exactly the right. Like you're somebody like Darius Slayton, who you're hoping he catches two long ones, even if it's a 10% chance, right? I mean, just that's the idea, is that you just need to now recalibrate how you are setting your lineup and any moves you might make, right? I mean, like I normally wouldn't start Audric Estime, but if I'm down to Puka Nacua, I might think he's going to get the start for he's probably splitting with Evan Hull, but on the other hand, he's playing the Jets, and is there a chance that Audric Estime out of nowhere has 100 yards and 2 touchdowns given the Jets? He could score twice. So that's the kind of thinking you have to think about.
Etienne had 3 touchdowns against the Jets last week through the air.
That's right.
So it's amazing that a high upside stack in the fantasy semifinals is Audric Estime and the Saints defense. We stack them together because they can both.
But that's right.
Considering starting both in the semis in another league right now.
Again, it all depends on your situation. Don't get crazy, but and you have to see sort of who else you have. But I just think you have to recalibrate your thinking now that you know you're chasing, whatever it was, 46 points that Puka had. The other thing I'll say here is that, what the hell, Ken Walker? We've been waiting for this game all year long. No one that has Ken Walker is either in the lineup, is either in the playoffs or using him. Yeah. And then, Ken Walker, by the way, still had the same usage. It's just he had 2 big plays. He broke 2 big plays, which is in his skill set, but it was just annoying to see.
The issue is 11 carries still.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, he popped off a 50-yard touchdown, but
I benched Ken Walker.
Snap rate's hilarious. Yeah. That's the real icing on the cake here.
Yeah, 43% snap rate. He gets 11 rushing attempts, but winds up with 25.5 fantasy points. I benched him in a league. I mean, again, now I have nice options in that league, but still, it's just he was a potential flex play for me. And I'm no, against the Rams, he doesn't get the goal line work, you know? I watched the game last night with my kids, my adult sons, and one of them had a anytime touchdown on Zach Charbonnet. I'm like, oh, you got this. And it ended up cashing early. Yeah. But I'm just they never use Ken Walker. And then
it's so funny watching Ken Walker at the end of these long runs as he gets to the goal line, because you better get it in, Ken. You better get it in, because otherwise you're coming out.
By the way, nothing says Father of the Year than just sitting around with your 2 adult sons talking about the parlays and all the bets we have. That's all right. We did. Is this degenerate bet throughout the entire game.
Good parenting.
Me and my kids. Actually, it was an awesome night.
Last thing on this game, Rams backfield, Blake Corum, 14 carries. Now they had a lot of game script. They just ran a ton of plays here. Kyren Williams still goes 23 carries, gets 70 rushing yards himself, but Blake Corum gets into the end zone. I think it just repeats, Connor, what we've said in recent weeks, that Blake Corum has standalone value, and they're going to be huge favorites their final 2 games against the Falcons and Cardinals.
This is an offense that scores a ridiculous amount of touchdowns. Both guys play while Kyren gets more volume, sure, but the bottom line is Corum gets opportunities down in the red area as well, that he is a viable flex play now for, feels like, a month plus.
Yep.
Dude, yeah. I mean, 1,000%.
And if you thought about sitting this week, it's Seattle, and a lot of people thought that, and didn't matter again.
Yeah.
That's the other thing that, by the way, again, it was an amazing game, but a super annoying game, incredibly frustrating game. Parkinson, Walker. Here's the other thing. I got a ton of advice. A ton of people ask me randomly, hey, should I start the Saints friends texting me, Seahawks defense or the Saints defense, right? Seahawks defense or the Broncos defense. I got a randomly just a bunch of questions about Seahawks defense or another viable option. And in every case, I said, give me the other option. I don't want the Seahawks defense against the Rams on a short week and everything like that. And I feel like that was the right call.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, they almost put up 40 points. But then, Shaheed returns the punt for a touchdown.
Yeah.
And you're just like, come on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was the right call to bench the Seahawks defense. But then, what are you going to do? Anyway, I'm better.
I don't blame you.
That's all right.
I think this is
points.
justified, this one.
No, thank you.
Not all of them are.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. By the way, just so everyone knows, as long as we're paused here for 1 second.
We're not paused.
We didn't pause, but go on.
We're rolling.
Just I want to apologize to the audience. We are currently in a monsoon here in Connecticut. At least,
by American standards.
Did you have to swim to work?
Yeah.
No, but
Thailand cold. They've got some problems with your definition of monsoon.
No, but
the
the particular place where my house is like underwater, and so there's water seeping into our house, and so I was like dealing with trying to get people over there. My wife is out of town, and so it's just like so anyway, that's why I was, by the way, a couple seconds late for the show. It's literally trying to save my house. So just so you know. Anyway, so we've got people over there, and they're dealing what they're doing what they're supposed to do.
Bucketing.
They are there's water. I mean, I saw videos. It's like there's water seeping into the house. And
Will you get your hands dirty once you get back there? You get on your knees.
Put your
in the buckets.
your waders on.
The Matty gumboots.
Yeah. So this is what I tell my wife. This is what I tell my wife. And
you earn the money to not do that.
Yeah. This is what my wife will say, well, honey, can you go fix the car? And I will say, listen, honey, you did not marry the fix the car guy. You married the write a check to get somebody else to fix the car guy.
Couldn't agree more.
I find your lane. This is my advice to the kids out there. Figure out what you're good at, do that, and then the stuff that you're not good at, and for me it's a very long list, get the hell out of the way.
Yeah.
But work hard enough so that you can earn enough money so that people that know what they're doing can do it. Because otherwise, I would just Finding Nemo 3 Barry's flooded basement. That's right, Valiant Vincent. Damn right.
That's where they said it. That's where Nemo ends up when he's looking for his brother.
Whatever. I mean, I don't know.
In Cheshire.
It's not pretty.
From the Opera House in Sydney to Cheshire.
It's just exactly right. Anyway, so.
Let's get into the Week 16 injuries we're tracking. Yes. This is a long list, as you see right here. Josh Jacobs dealing with a knee injury. DeAndre Swift has been limited with a groin injury this week. Javonte Williams, the same for him, with a neck injury. We saw him briefly leave the game, what we thought was a shoulder, and then came back in and played. Woody Marks with an ankle. Drake London has returned to practice with that knee injury. Rashee Rice and T. Higgins dealing with concussions. Marvin Harrison Jr. has been back at practice in a limited capacity. Mike Evans, more veteran rest related. Dalton Kincaid with the knee. Let's start with Rashee Rice specifically, though, because he did not practice on Thursday with that concussion. If he's out and Gardner Minshew is starting, how do you stack up the Kansas City pass catchers?
Well, listen, Rashee Rice, there's been 3 games in which Rashee Rice has not played, but Xavier Worthy has, and he's averaged almost 13 fantasy points per game. It's a 20% target share. Now it's Gardner Minshew, not Patrick Mahomes, but I currently have Worthy at wide receiver 27. I think you lean a little bit more on Kelsey here. Hollywood Brown probably gets in the mix. They probably take a couple of shots at Tyquan Thornton as well. You don't feel great about any of it.
Sounds fun.
Dude, I mean, it is what it is. But honestly, Xavier Worthy is one of those guys that if I faced, because he's somebody that could get loose for 2 long ones. Is Gardner Minshew Patrick Mahomes? Of course not. No one is. But Gardner Minshew is a professional quarterback who has been a starter in this league many years, has a little, especially given the fact that they're out of the playoffs. You know what I mean? And he knows, it's not like he's trying to fight for, hey, I got a shot at starting next year.
Right.
This is Gardner Minshew has ultimately X is down there somewhere. He'll chuck it up there. So Xavier Worthy is one of those guys that I think it's interesting. If you faced Puka Nacua, especially if Rashee Rice is out.
Yep, no, I agreed. And also, people forget we're 2 years removed from Gardner Minshew being Tyler Goodson's fingertips away from winning the AFC South. Gardner Minshew can function in an NFL offense.
That was the start of your Colts love.
It was. Yeah, they were heroic that day. They were gallant. Alas, it's all been down. They were gallant. Jonathan Taylor with 180 on the ground with a bad knee. Anyway, Gardner Minshew. Gardner Minshew is bad in a way that's fun and entertaining and voluminous. He will throw some bad picks. He'll get strip sacked, but he will Nick Mullins it up and accumulate yards.
He will be similar. I'm not trying to troll you here, but he will be similar to Joe Flacco, especially that run at the end of the year with the Browns 2 seasons ago, where Flacco was just again threw a couple of bad picks every game, but ultimately was voluminous. He has 0 Fs to give. Gardner Minshew. Yeah.
This one from Ryan Scott. If Rice can't go, Cortland Sutton or DJ Moore?
The DJ Moore business has not been a fun business.
That's a Saturday game, keep in mind.
I think it's Sutton for me. It's, Sutton, I think, for me.
Against Jacksonville.
Yeah, I prefer Sutton, especially because their guys are banged up as well. I know Odunze or I have DJ Moore currently at wide receiver 23. I'll just say this about DJ Moore. When he's gotten at least an 18% target share, he's scored at least 15 fantasy points here. So I think it's close. I understand the question. I'm Joe Shane.
I like that.
I get the question.
Good callback.
I understand the question. But I just prefer Sutton just because I feel better about going against Jacksonville than I do going against Green Bay, and I feel better honestly about Bo Nix than I do about Caleb Williams as a throwing quarterback.
Yeah. Also, one thing. We don't have any idea if Jacksonville's pass defense is any good because they haven't played any real offenses.
Brady Cook wasn't enough for you last week?
Yeah.
Brady Cook, Riley Leonard the week before that. They played, I guess, like Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
But that game, Jacoby Brissett moved the ball and then that game went to overtime. Geno Smith put up they got that game to overtime. It's been a while since they've had a real test. Their run defense is very good.
It is elite.
It is elite. That don't have concerns
front seven
about.
is very good.
But the back end, we'll see. And though, Bo Nix isn't Joe Montana or anything, but he's coming off his best game maybe of his whole career. So, I wouldn't be surprised if Denver can move the ball through the air in that one.
Drake London, limited on Thursday. He's been working his way back from that knee injury. Coming off last week, Jay, if Drake London is back, where's your confidence level?
Yeah, I think you take confidence from the fact that Kirk Cousins has looked certainly better than he did in that first game against Miami. He's looked much more confident. And so it's a reasonably favorable matchup against the Cardinals team that's been decimated for a long time now. And the good thing, too, is that the Falcons are done. They're not doing anything this season. So if they're bringing back Drake London, that means he's fully healthy. They're not going to bring him back if he's dragging around a leg. So I feel pretty good that Drake London, you fire him up, almost as usual.
I'm at wide receiver 3, and I'm just going to tell you here right now, he's going to go off. I'm playing against him I'm in this Dynasty semifinals. I've been the #1 team all season long, had a first-round bye, and I lost in the finals of this league last year. I've lost in the it's been every year I have the best team, and then just something happens, and I can't ever get it done. And I'm going to tell you right now, so I started Colby Parkinson in this league last night, right? Because I lost Zach Ertz.
It's not a fun night.
It's not a fun night. I'm playing my buddy Daniel Dopp. Again, this is a Dynasty League with all my friends from ESPN, a lot of people that you know. Producer Damien's in that league as well. But my buddy Daniel Dopp, that's the only saving grace is that if I lose this, and I'm likely going to lose this, that it'll be to Daniel, who I love. I adore Daniel. He's a good friend.
A very I'm glad it's you moment as he beats you and tears.
No, there's other people in the league that if I lost to, I would be bitter about, but that I don't like.
It's from Road to Perdition, by the way, if you're wanting a film reference.
But Daniel, I love. I truly love Daniel. But yeah, he's got Drake London, so I'm just promising you, Drake London's going to come back. He's definitely playing, and he's going to go off. There's no question about it. I do have an inside source that tells me Drake's going to play, and you like the fact that.
Well,
yeah, I'm just saying. We'll see.
Raheem Morris.
Well, it's Raheem Morris. It's my source. It's actually.
You're best friends with Zach Robinson.
Yeah, exactly. Bijan. Bijan's my.
What Falcon invests in fantasy?
Yeah, exactly.
Tyler Algier.
Tyler Algier, exactly.
David Sills.
No,
that's actually more in line.
Ray McLeod. Ray McLeod.
We know it's not Kyle Pitts.
Yeah.
All the Kyle Pitts slander over the years, which is basically the role Drake London steps into, by the way, when he's healthy.
48.5 over/under. We expect a lot of points in this game.
I love a lot of points.
Good for you, Kirk Cousins. You're in a game with a 48.5 total.
Right?
Yeah. Didn't look like we were going to get there after that.
Where does Kirk Cousins play next year?
Everybody keeps saying the Jets. It's not going to be the Jets. He doesn't want to play for the Jets.
No.
We've already been through this. He'll start somewhere.
Will he?
Maybe Minnesota. Maybe he'll compete to start in Minnesota.
Can't do this again.
Because that's one where, say, McCarthy has a good summer. Okay, McCarthy, you're the starter, but we have a break in case of emergency kind of box in Kirk Cousins.
Then he should back up Brock Purdy. I don't think we want.
Mac Jones under contract.
It's true, but Mac Jones might get traded somewhere to
start.
He might.
Miami?
Yeah. I mean, that's what they do with
Quarterback
Jordan Mason.
carousel this offseason is going to be wild to watch.
Kyler's going to start somewhere. I have Kyler in a dynasty league, and I'm like, Kyler, and some people were trading for him, and it was hard for me to value him because it's like Kyler Murray, Minnesota, awesome. Kyler Murray with the Jets,
yeah. Raiders bridge quarterback, Kyler
exactly.
Murray.
Yeah.
No, right. It's all reasonable.
It's all reasonable. All right, let's move on here.
You want to go back on track?
Sure.
Imagine telling somebody in this fantasy playoff semis how important this topic would be. Marvin Harrison Jr. was limited in practice on Thursday. And this isn't about Marvin Harrison Jr. This is all about Michael Wilson, Matthew, because if Marv's back, panic hours. If he's not, you have a bona fide wide receiver 2 locked into your lineup in Michael Wilson.
Yeah, the problem is that in the games in which Jacoby Brissett has started and Marvin Harrison has been active, Michael Wilson averages under 8 fantasy points per game, has a 15% target share. This is a guy that has gotten you here. Like, so many people, and I'm one of them, has ridden Michael Wilson to the fantasy semifinals. Or in my case, a 7-game win streak that allowed me to lose on a tiebreaker, but ultimately defeat a lot of people in our league that should have finished higher than me and did not.
It's amazing that Michael, it just doesn't feel like it should be this extreme, because when Marvin Harrison Jr. plays, he's basically wide receiver Tyjae Spears, and when Marvin Harrison Jr. is out, he's God. He's God incarnate.
He's Puka.
Yeah,
he's basically Puka light.
Puka Nacua. So best player in the league versus basically useless. I think there has to be a middle ground. I guess if Marvin Harrison Jr. plays, I think Michael Wilson's prop will be set around like 50.5, and he'll have, some chance, 25-30% chance of getting in the end zone, 25% chance of getting in the end zone. It's not great.
Again, given we expect this to be a reasonably high-scoring game here, Atlanta's secondary doesn't scare you. I have Michael Wilson at wide receiver 19, and I have Harrison ranked. I'm ranked as a top 12 play, actually. So I do expect Marvin Harrison to play, and I do have Wilson still as a top 20 play this week. But I would be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. I'm a little bit nervous about it. But I still think he's just been too good, and the matchup's been too good that I can't imagine benching Michael Wilson given the production that he's had, even with Marvin Harrison Jr. out. But certainly you don't feel great about it. I feel like most of the injuries this week, I'm just sort of like rooting for people not to play versus to play. I mean,
mostly what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, as somebody who has Malik Davis, I hope Javonte Williams misses. He's dealing with that neck injury.
The Louisiana regular, longtime listener, first-time commenter, loved it. Is that Jay in a Saints jersey?
Yeah, and I've never worn that jersey, so it's been
that's you wearing a Michael
nicely
Thomas.
photoshopped over.
That's you wearing Michael Thomas. That's unbelievable.
That's really good. Louisiana regular. You might be in the power rankings next week.
Yeah, you might make others receiving votes today.
I definitely didn't forget that Michael Thomas was number 13. I definitely didn't forget that.
Yeah. Love the show. Bench 2, non-PPR. Michael Wilson, Pickens, Sutton, Hampton, Pollard. Not start 2, it's bench 2.
Bench 2. All right, so non-PPR makes this interesting. I think it's the running backs.
I was just going to say.
I think it's.
I like Omarion Hampton this week, oddly enough.
Tony Pollard's apparently.
Against Dallas's run defense has been a lot better, but he gets a lot of volume. Quentin Williams back at practice, but still in concussion protocol. You never know with those.
Non-PPR.
Yeah.
I just don't know. Let's start with who you're definitely starting. You're definitely starting Pickens.
Yes.
Right? You're definitely starting Pickens here.
I think you're starting Sutton.
I think you're starting Sutton as well. So then it's like, if you like Hampton, we're definitely benching Pollard. I know that Pollard's been good for the last 2 weeks here as well, but Kansas City does have a good run defense here. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably benching Pollard here. So then it's Hampton or Michael Wilson. I think I probably would still go.
I'd go Wilson.
Yeah, I think I'd still go Wilson.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, I think you bench the running backs.
Yeah.
No.
Again, non-PPR helps the running backs, but again, I think you're going to need touchdowns from each of them to pay off.
Thank you, Louisiana regular.
Yeah.
Hope to see more comments before you going forward.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nice avatar.
Really good debut from Louisiana regular. Woody Marks not seen at practice on Thursday. He's dealing with an ankle injury. Nick Chubb back at practice with his rib injury. Jawad Jordan.
This is very high leverage, strangely, because the Texans are 14.5-point favorites against the Raiders. Their offense looks the best that it has really since C.J. Stroud's rookie year. So whoever the running back is going to have a real good chance at scoring multiple touchdowns, having great game scripts. If Nick Chubb can go, and given that he practiced in full, you'd expect that he would, and Woody Marks is out, then yeah, Nick Chubb, flex viable, I think, but Jawad Jordan is the real wild card.
Yeah, I mean, and again, if you face Puka and you want to roll the dice, that's an interesting thing. But by the way, if you start Jawad Jordan, here's what's going to happen. It's going to be Nick Chubb and Dario Ogunbowale.
Yeah.
Dario Ogunbowale is going to get 15 touches and 2 touchdowns. You just know that's happening.
Yep.
But if you try to start Dario Ogunbowale, he's going to get,
He'll be on special
2
teams.
for 13.
He'll kick an extra point for you.
Unless we get some more clarity heading forward, be interesting. Maybe I'll reach out. Aaron Wilson is a guy that covers the Texans really, really well. I'll be interested to see if he has any insight.
Oh, I thought you were going to text him. I thought he was
no, I will text him. I'm just saying, but like.
This is like your Falcon source.
Woody Marks is currently doing some work on the side of practice right now. So
I have a couple of Texan sources. Aaron's one of them, but like Aaron's not a source. I mean, he's a team beat reporter. But
there it is.
Yeah.
There you go. That is Woody Marks.
This is better than the Bucky Irving footage.
This is very
which is basically
Sasquatch.
Yeah, Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Meets the Loch Ness monster.
Yeah.
We got to make changes. We got to make changes.
So what? That's what we got.
It's ridiculous.
That's what we do. It's outrageous.
This is the life we've chosen. It's horrible.
It's awful. It's awful.
Everybody out here, Jordan, Woody Marks. Well, Woody Marks was walking on the practice field, so now this is a ridiculous life when you think about it.
This is what you're going to do. You're going to tune into Fantasy Football Pregame Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern on the NFL and NBC YouTube channel or Peacock, and we will have a definitive answer. I will text my sources. We will get this all sorted out.
I like that.
We don't have an answer for you right now, but we will have an answer on the Texans running back situation, what you want to do on Fantasy Football Pregame Sunday morning.
Nick Underhill does a really good job covering the Saints.
He does a great job.
New Orleans football is who he covers for. I believe that is his own.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Owned
Support
and operated.
Nick.
Yeah.
A self-made man.
Yeah. Support writers that run their own operation, and Nick is one of the best of them. Says Audric Estime will probably start in Week 16 against the Jets. I know who I'm rooting for in this spot. It's not the Jets.
Right.
Audric Estime, this is your shot again.
Have you guys done a special episode of NFL Stock Exchange, you and Trevor?
We did just have a listener, and I feel bad that I will make up for this
like
lack
an emergency
of shout
podcast.
out. Yeah, it should be. I shouldn't be here right now. Who mailed our business mailing address? Yes, we have one of those. A signed Audric Estime photo for our backdrop.
Come on.
I will find their name in the DMs and give them a special shout. So this is a big moment for us, and a big moment for Audric Estime. Him and Tyler Shuck might actually have a huge impact in some fantasy semifinals this week. I'm not kidding.
Might be the future.
Yeah.
Well, they're more important than now.
Yeah.
What does Estime have? The Jets, they look like they've given up.
Yes.
Does Estime have like a 145-yard, 2-touchdown game in him?
I don't think the yardage, but I genuinely think if he falls into the end zone twice, it would be. I'd set that at like plus 210.
But you sort of like Evan Hall. Like, it's interesting. Like,
He's fine, right. I'm worried that they sort of like Evan Hall.
Right, I know, right,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, is this a split backfield? You know,
the weird thing was Estime got the pass game work.
Does everyone start Audric Estime and then Tyler Shuck runs 2 in?
Right. I think Shuck has the biggest fantasy, impact in this game.
Yeah.
Maybe even like Jauan Johnson somehow.
17 or more fantasy points in 4 of the past 5 games for Tyler Shuck. He's QB 12 over that stretch, by the way, facing your Jets. And Audric Estime, is just worth noting that since week 8, your Jets allow the most fantasy points to opposing running backs. They have given up. They really
4.5 point spread that we've been on.
They understand the assignment.
Yes, lose.
Lose.
It's time to lose.
Yeah, it's time to lose.
They should have kept Steve Wilkes. They would have kept doing that easily.
Yeah.
I don't know why they fired him
it's
for
stupid.
that. This one from, I think it's Mr. ANC. Or just M-Rank, whatever you want to be. Kamani Vidal, Michael Carter, or Audric Estime in the RB2 spot. He has Jacobs in the RB1 spot. I know it's not Vidal.
It's Carter. I think it's Carter unless, again, you face JSN or you face Puka or you just feel like you need to swing for the fences, because I think Estime has a higher ceiling than Carter, because there's a chance, I feel like the Falcons have a better run defense than pass defense to an extent, and that with Carter, there's a chance, because the Cardinals are so weird, that they pass all the time, and that there's also Amari DiMarcado came back last week. Could they increase his role this week? Like, there's more. I think Carter has the better chance is much more to the floor play.
Yep.
Estime could be 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Estime could be 25 yards
easily.
Could be all Evan Hall and Tyler Shuck.
All right, guys, going to rip through the rest of our injuries real quick here. Chris Rodriguez was not on Washington's final Week 16 injury report. The Bears ruled out Luther Burden and Rome Odunze for Week 16 for the 80th time. That is the Saturday game. Please check your lineups today and tomorrow morning if you are playing Chicago Bears or Green Bay Packers, because DeAndre Swift is still questionable for that game. He's been dealing with this groin injury all season long. Hopefully you have Kyle Monangai as an insurance back if for some reason Swift doesn't go. He usually plays through these scenarios, so we'll see. Josh Jacobs and Christian Watson are both questionable in the same exact game. Christian Watson, though, sounded on the more optimistic side when he spoke about it.
Yeah, you know what? This is one of those, like, even if he and tell me if I'm crazy on this one, but I just feel like if he plays, I still don't want to part, even though Christian Watson's been awesome this year.
Right, and a big play guy.
But I just feel like Christian Watson is one of those guys. Aaron Jones is another one that I just feel like every game they just sort of get injured and leave early. They're always a threat to get banged up and leave the game early and just...
He's another upside guy if you go up against Puka. Christian Watson, a good guy to start because he could go, 4 for 90 with 2 touchdowns.
There's no question.
Yeah, I'm in a scenario between him and Michael Wilson, and I'm starting Wilson right now.
That's what I would do.
But I'm playing Puka, so I'm thinking about playing. It's just a mess, All right, as we always do on Friday, we have a doctor to answer your flexual frustrations as we welcome on our good friend, Denny Carter.
Dr. Carter, I want to talk to you about love in a group setting of men. I speak, of course, of Jordan Love and his group of wide receivers, which features Jayden Reed, who now is in this big group of men of Christian Watson and Dontavian Wicks and Romeo Doubs and Matthew Golden if he's still alive.
I think there's enough love to go around, and really there always should be. As a doctor, we study, the spreading of love, in a group setting like you're talking about, Jay, and so I do think that there's enough to go around for Jayden Reed.
Flexual frustrations with our doctor, Denny Carter. Denny, a lot of talk about enough to go around. No Rashee Rice for the Chiefs. Is there finally enough to go around for the, feels like underutilized Xavier Worthy?
I mean, maybe. I don't know if there's much love in Kansas City anymore. The vibes may be too bad. But without Rashee Rice in the lineup, Xavier Worthy is being targeted on 25% of his routes. That drops to 16% of his routes when Rashee Rice is active. So if he's inactive, I think Worthy could be a decent flex option if you're frustrated, of course. And it could lead to more frustration, but it's against a Titans defense that profiles as a pass funnel, one of the most extreme pass funnels in the league. 40 dropbacks for Gardner Minshew.
Okay. Want to talk about balls, Doctor? I know you love them. Darius Slayton in particular and deep balls.
Yeah.
Will he get the deep balls from Jackson Dart enough to be startable in the flex against the Vikings?
The Vikings see a lot of deep balls, and that's fine. I mean, different teams, different people see different amounts of deep balls, and whatever. Look, the Vikings are into it. They are 5th in the league in completion rate on those deep balls. No team is giving up a higher yards per target, yards per attempt on downfield shots. And what does that mean? It means Darius Slayton is in play as a high variance wide receiver 3. You may be frustrated, but this could be glorious for you to get through to your championship.
Could be glorious, the Darius Slayton story.
It's a good sell.
Could be glorious. Dr. Carter, I get an email in here. It's from Pete. Pete says, please pass this along to Dr. Carter. I have a problem. I was out at the nightclub the other day trying to, introduce myself to a young lady that I was interested in. She was ignoring me. I was having trouble scoring. And I said to my buddy, I need help. I need your help with some scoring here. And he said, well, listen, you got to mack that ass up. And he said, wait, what? He said, yeah, you got to mack that ass up. He goes, I don't know how to dance. He goes, no, I thought you meant about your fantasy team and Mack Hollins. Mack that ass up.
I see.
So, yeah, should Pete mack that ass up?
It's a common mistake, Matthew. Yeah. And by the way, thanks to Pete for emailing Matthew every single Friday with his flexual frustrations.
Yes, but he's got a lot of them.
Loyal listener.
It's an AOL
He has
address.
He has a lot. And that's okay. There's no shame here. Listen, Mack Hollins, since week 10, he leads the Patriots in targets and air yards. I don't know how that's possible, but he does. He's second on the team in receptions. Hollins has he leads the team in first read targets over the past 3 games. I don't know what's going on, guys, but Mack Hollins is a viable flex against Baltimore in a game that could be, I think, high scoring on Sunday night on NBC.
For more answers to your flexual frustrations, Denny always does a live Q&A right after our show, so please check that out. Denny, thank you as always.
Happy holidays, Denny. Very festive today.
That's right. Happy holidays to you, Denny.
See you guys.
All right, we're taking our first break. When we're back, we're answering some of your best questions for What's on Tap.
Do you think we're definitely back?
I think we'll be back.
I'm not sure.
I won't say 100% guarantee. I'll put it
if we're back.
94%. Aloha breaks. Poor Pete is going through it all year. He doesn't need a doctor. He needs a therapist.
You have no idea all the things that Pete needs. All right. there's a chance we're back, and if we are,
stick around.
We will.
See what happens.
We get into your questions on what's on tap. Valiant Vincent 13 writes, "No, Barry, after what you did to Stafford, how dare you wear that?" Stop it. Stafford was good yesterday.
Yeah, after you spilled diet soda on him and triggered a loss to the Carolina Panthers.
This is fair, but he was like even though they had 3 rushing touchdowns, he still was a top 11 quarterback heading into Monday Night Football. Matthew Stafford. No, stop it.
So
I'm on Raw St. Brown. Don't worry. I've got
spill proof.
Yeah, spill proof here.
Here's the Fantasy Football Happy Hour regular power rankings for Week 16. Valiant Vincent, welcome to the top spot, big dog. Jonathan Medici, you've been doing great, but you dropped 1 spot down.
Who will win regular of the year at the Peacockies?
Yeah. Massive new category.
New category. Aloha Bricks up 1 to number 3. Raise the Flags down 1 to number 4. Neck Brace Nation. Good to see him in the top 5 for the first time.
Keep climbing, Neck Brace Nation.
Look at Louisiana regular sneaking into others receiving votes.
Yeah, gone with Scott McClory and Footballer. Footballer always brings it. I feel like he should be ranked, but he's not.
Yes,
he's
quality over quantity.
Yeah, he's a sniper. When Footballer, when he shoots, he scores.
Yeah, everybody look out.
Ved is +1 to number 9. Ryan Oswald wasn't ranked last week. Gets into the list at number 8. K. Gemma, 89, +2 up to number 7. Again, Stuntman Chuck at 6. He's down 1. And making his, I believe, regular top 10 debut, SEC Man 01 in the top 10. I don't believe he's made the top 10 before.
Football is kind of like Josh Hader. He's only going to give you 1 inning, but it's going to be good.
Has anybody checked in on Clark Brady since his marathon watching?
No. Clark Brady, where you at?
I believe he's dead.
I
believe it killed him.
I really hope not.
Yeah.
I think it killed him.
He'll be back for the next year's marathon in August.
Oh boy. The competition for regular of the year at the Peacockies is unbelievable.
We should all have a vote, like the entire staff.
I agree.
Sure.
A handwritten vote.
Yeah.
What's on Tap is brought to you by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Sundays are easy to enjoy when they are full of football and the fridge is filled with beer, and we're going to make it even easier for you by taking some of your best questions. And the first one of those comes from Stephen Dunn. Here's a conflicting question. Jeanty, who's been extremely underwhelming against the Texans, or Gainwell, who seems to be the more consistent running back for the Steelers against the Lions?
I think the answer is Kenneth Gainwell.
I don't think it's close.
Yeah,
they're great.
Yeah, Kenneth Gainwell. 8th best running back in fantasy since week 11, 16 or more fantasy points in 4 of the past 5 games. That's the highest over-under on the slate. And again, Daniel Dopp has him against me. He's going to go off.
Yep, that's a good sign. Question number 2 from Cody Porter.
Yeah.
Zay Flowers or Jauan Jennings. Jennings has a really good matchup. Jay, it looks like Jennings could be a top 20-ish play at wide receiver this week.
Absolutely. It looks like the Niners offense is rolling. Again, Brock Purdy was magnificent against the Titans. I understand it was the Titans, but the Colts, with no Sauce Gardner, not particularly imposing either. So, as you can see, Matthew's rankings neck and neck here, Jauan Jennings and Zay Flowers. But I feel better about San Francisco's offense right now than I do Baltimore's.
I also feel a lot better about Jennings' chances to get into the end zone. Zay Flowers is not a red zone target, but Jauan Jennings, so far this year, when Brock Purdy, since he's returned, since Purdy's been back, Jauan Jennings has gotten 44% of the Niners' end zone targets.
Our last question comes from John Ago. We going with Loveland or Dalton Schultz? No Burden or Odunze, but the Texans played the Raiders. Anyone else? I like the last part. Anyone else out there?
Yeah.
Send me a sign.
No, I have Dalton Schultz at tight end 9, right? But by the way, that's exactly where he's been since week 5. He's literally been the 9th best tight end in fantasy on a points per game basis. At least 11 fantasy points in 7 of the 10 games during that stretch. 35% target share last week. Again, more of a floor play than an upside play. He's kind of a catch and fall down kind of tight end. We like Nico Collins, but again, against Las Vegas, Dalton Schultz should return top 10 numbers.
That'll do it for What's on Tap, presented by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. We're taking our last break. We think we'll be back, and Jay and I have our best picks to impress Matthew. It's pickup lines after this. DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code FFHH when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook,
The crown.
That is yours.
It is so yours. It is not mine.
Pickup lines effectiveness. All right, Jay. Let's get it going. Let's fire it up.
Right. Get back on the horsey. And what better
That's all
way?
you could do.
What better way, Matthew, to get back on said horsey?
Yes.
Than Philip Rivers, my good friend.
Yes.
Never met, but is the quarterback my beloved Colts.
But is horse-like.
Yes, horse-like. Very. Yeah, he is kind of horse-like. Philip Rivers to throw an interception is minus 120. Now, the angle here is I watched him play football last week.
Yes. You're a Colts man.
I'm a Colts man. I watched every snap. Phil Rivers can't really throw the ball anymore, unfortunately. Now, the brain still works. Everything above the shoulder still works. He just can't really connect the body with the brain. And his passing attempts prop is set at 28 against the Niners. If that man throws the ball 28 times, one of those passes is getting picked off. And here's the thing is last week, they were able to run Jonathan Taylor on first down 19 out of 23 times because they had game script. Like that game, they were either leading or it was close. Like Phil Rivers didn't need to drop back and really do anything until the final drive where he immediately threw an interception. I think that the Niners are going to score more heavily than the Seahawks did against a pretty suspect Colts defense with no Sauce Gardner and no Mooney Ward. And I think that Rivers is going to have to throw, and I think he'll get picked off once.
All right. Matthew, for me, I'm kind of cheating here. I'm going with your ride or die, Omarion Hampton. You know what his rushing prop is set at against Dallas this week? Just 45.5 rushing yards. Dallas's run defense has been a lot better recently. We don't know if Quinn Williams is going to play, which is a huge factor in all of this. But the good news is for Hampton, it seems like the volume is now ticking upwards. He's cleared this number in 5 of 7 games. And I think this is one where I think he can get there even if he's not overly efficient. But I think he's looked good. Like Hampton passes the eye test. When they get him going downhill, they cannot protect Justin Herbert. They can't. He gets hit a million times on his dropbacks. They have to run the ball. They're leaning into the run. I think Omarion Hampton honestly goes over 50 rushing yards in this game, but I'll take the number of 45.5.
Yeah, game line in that is Cowboys just favored by 1.5. So in theory, they're keeping it close as well. Jay, I like the idea there. Although the Seahawks offense is awesome, and then they didn't do anything against the Colts defense, right? And we just showed them put up almost 40 points. So I can't bail on my ride or die. It's cheating a little bit, Connor.
Sure.
Honestly, is absolutely
play the game.
He's pandering. He's absolutely pandering.
Play the game.
Yes, that's right. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
That's me.
He's the pandler.
Gladly.
He's the pandler, but I'm going home with Connor.
Oh, let's go.
So there you go.
Valiant Vincent. Hey, I'll have you know, I was ranked the #1 regular of the week for Fantasy Football Happy Hour this week. Going to be my new pickup line. Try that out at the bar.
They'll have great success.
Yeah,
0%.
Yeah, the ladies will know exactly what you're talking about.
100%.
Like, oh, I love that show. I didn't know you're Valiant Vincent.
Text us back next week. Let us know if you managed to score and Mack that ass up. All right, listen, it's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. For Jay and Connor, I'm Matthew. We'll see you Sunday. Peace out.